episode of Tell Me Darling. How you going?
Good. How you
Good.
doing?
I'm good. We had a great weekend. Firstly, before we get started, it is school holidays, so if you hear screaming kids in the background, it's just ours and they're so fun.
Yeah.
Carry on. How was your weekend, Phil?
Really good.
Do you want to tell them about it without telling them about it?
Yeah, I do. Saturday was great. We cleaned up the shed.
Yeah.
Big cleanup day in the shed.
Mm-hmm.
Got that all organised for the next lot of movements in there.
Yeah.
Then we went and seen the Paw Patrol movie Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
We went to the Gold Coast to the season launch of the basketball, the NBL.
Yep.
And then, then we stayed at the what did we say? The casino.
Star Casino.
The Star Casino, and that was really nice.
Oh, it was different. We'd never stayed there before.
It was good. We had like the old school mob boss gangster room. It was cool.
It was really nice. Anyway, it was a great weekend and we did lots of great things, which was good. I'm going to get straight into our Darling Dish segment. So excited. Week 2 of the Darling Dish. I'm going to start off with my own story today.
What
Do you know
about?
what I'm going to talk about? So last week, I went on a little trip to Melbourne.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Went to Melbourne, got to the airport, and...
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
you already
yes.
know. So dumb.
Yes.
So dumb.
You're an idiot.
I am. So as I'm leaving the airport, right, I just collect my baggage. I'm about to walk out of the airport and this man is like, "Hi miss, do you need a taxi?" And I'm like, "Yeah, actually I do." And that's so helpful. Thank you. So he grabs my bags and we start walking out the door, and then we like start to cross the road and I'm like, "Oh, where are we going?" Anyway, I spot the taxi rank and I'm like, "Awesome. That was really close. That's handy." We walk past the taxi rank and I'm like, oh, what's going on here? And I say to him, I'm like, "Oh, excuse me, like the taxis are there. Why are we not going that way?" And he's like, "Oh no, we have to park on level 2. And I was like, "But I can see them. They're right there." And he's like 1.5 meters in front of me and he has my bag. So I'm like, fuck, he has my bag. I have to like keep walking. So I'm like, okay. And then I walk to the car park and then he presses the up button on the lift and I'm like, oh my God, like I'm looking up and I can just see that there's normal cars there. Like there's no taxi rank. And like my body is just still walking and my brain's like, what the fuck are you doing? Like every like sign in me is like, walk away. Like, you know, this is not right. But thus far, I walk into the elevator and I follow this man into a fucking deserted car park and I get into his car. And I get in the car and at this point I'm like shaking. I'm really hot and like I have so much anxiety because I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? What the fuck am I doing? And I text Phil and I'm like, I've made a mistake. I fucked up. Is that what I said?
Something stupid
Something like
that.
I've fucked up. And so like he texts me and he's like, what? And I tell him the story that I've just like followed this man into a car park and he says he's a taxi driver, but there's no stickers on his car and I don't know what to do. I don't even remember what you said. I fucking blacked out. I swear to God, I was literally just sweating the whole time. But Phil ends up calling me and we just talk on the phone for the drive. I'm like got the address on my maps to make sure that this guy is following where we're going or where I need to go and he's not like taking me astray. Get to my destination. He fucking overcharges me $120 and dumps me in and I'm on my way. And it turns out like it was legit, but I just got scammed double the price.
Yeah, I'm going to get a lot of hate for saying this.
Mm-hmm.
This just goes to show why more women get kidnapped than men.
Well, yep.
And you're, of all people, and I don't know how many times I have to
know.
tell you, don't get into a car unless it's a proper Uber or a taxi. And as soon as you know, if you're in Sydney, Melbourne, any of those places, anyone says you want taxi, you say, fuck no. No.
It just caught me off guard because I don't know, I was just
That's
really
how you
relaxed. I had a really great flight. So I was just cruising out. I was like, yeah, sure, thanks. That's so nice.
You can never be relaxed, no matter what, ever.
Never. Yeah.
You'd always stay ready.
Apparently.
So I almost had to do this show by myself today, and I would have told the story. I think the show would have gone on. I would.
It would have been my story.
That's what I mean. It would have been your story.
Oh, okay. Anyway, there's this quote, and I need to find it because I can't remember it. But it's something like women like risk their lives over being or to be polite and not. I need to find it. But something about we choose to be polite and risk our lives than be rude and stand up for ourselves.
I don't know if it's a woman thing or it's just an individual thing.
No, but this specific quote was like about women being like, we choose to be polite and in danger.
Fuck that.
Yeah, then to be rude.
You know how it would have gone down if I was there.
Well, you would have said no and we would have just carried on to the taxi rank. End of.
Or I would have hired, I probably would have hired my own car.
Anyway, I was there for 24 hours. Look, lesson learned. Yeah. And when I was going to the airport and some man was like, "Miss, do you need a taxi?" I was like, "No." Like really aggressive. He would have been like, "Fucking rude bitch." But I was triggered. So it took me like 2 hours to come down from my like anxiety from the trip. Wild. Anyway, that was my darling dish for this week. My own story.
Wow.
Very good, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Anyway. Okay. So I have... obviously I put up the question box for the darling dish and I got an interesting comment last week that I forgot to put in last week's episode. So I was going to share it this week because I thought that you might find it interesting. So someone, her name was boundless, she commented and she said, "My auntie saw the Bernies drop off a dead body while she was getting firewood in the bush." Do you remember that story?
No.
David and Catherine Burney, episode 3.
Oh, I thought you were something about Burmese.
Bernie.
Wow.
So I was like, okay, well, I need to know more.
Is this an Australian one?
The third case, yes, where they kidnapped like 4 women and then
they take them to their house?
Yes.
The tyre people that worked in the tyre shop?
He was, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I was like, okay, well, I need to know more about this. Like, tell me more. So she said she was in the bush collecting firewood and she saw a car drive past quite slowly and she said that she got a bad feeling. So she crouched down so that the car wouldn't see her. But she saw a man driving, who we now know as David Burney, and a woman in the back seat, Catherine Burney, and there was a woman with her head slumped on her shoulder. My auntie assumed that she was asleep. Forgot about it until it was on the news that they buried a girl in the Wanneroo Pine Plantation. So I'm assuming that might have been Denise because she was the one that was slumped over. But isn't that crazy?
That is absolutely hectic.
Yeah. I was like,
crazy.
Her gut instinct like saved her life. Insane. Such a close call. Makes me feel a bit yucky. But
yeah,
anyway,
so I don't like doing Australian cases for that reason.
Neither. All right. So today's case, actually inspired by one of our good friends for no reason other than the fact that she's single. Okay? Our beautiful friend Steph. Our beautiful friend Steph is a little single lady.
So hang on, what's this got to do with the case?
Look, I'll get into it. But our friend Steph is single and she dabbles sometimes in dating apps.
Does she?
Sometimes.
I don't want to know. No. Sorry, Steph. I don't want to know.
Don't be rude. Not often. Not often. But, you know, me and my friends encourage her to get on there and check them out. And we swipe left and we swipe right for her. I don't know which one's which, but I don't know. I try to encourage her to get out there a bit more. After this story, maybe not so much. I might step back a bit on the online dating.
Oh, okay. See where we're going.
So, shout out to you,
Steph. I've always been in a relationship ever since dating apps came out.
Yeah, we've never been single prior.
For dating apps.
Yeah. Well, in the digital age, online dating has emerged as an exciting avenue for meeting people and forging connections that were once unimaginable. It's a realm where possibilities seem boundless, where doors to potential romance swing open with the mere click of a mouse or a swipe on a screen. However, as with any door or any open door, there exists the unsettling possibility of one that cannot be closed. What if that portal, seemingly leading to love and adventure, ushers in a nightmare of stalking and harassment? It's a sobering reminder that the online world, despite its allure, can be a deceptive place, where appearances often deceive and the line between fantasy and reality can blur with chilling consequences. Are you ready to hear today's story?
Tell me, darling.
All right. Actually, this one was inspired also, not just by my friend Steph, but last week someone said that last week's case was good, but it wasn't mind-blowing enough.
Oh.
So that's where we're at with this one.
Tell me what happened last week again.
The Hilton hotel murder.
Oh, yeah.
Which I said to her, I was like, that reminds me of that meme where it's like, imagine being murdered and then some girl clicks next on your episode because it's boring.
Yeah.
Oh, it's meant to be like funny.
That's sad.
Yeah, I guess.
Sad.
What's sad?
I don't know. I don't know.
Okay. It just reminded me of that anyway.
Okay.
So on the evening of December 5th, 2015.
Oh, shit.
A young woman embarked on a walk through the dimly lit surrounds of a big lake park, seeking solace in the stillness of the night. Pausing at a bench along one of the winding pathways, she found herself unexpectedly approached from behind by an unknown figure. Turning to face her assailant, she was met with an alarming sight of a woman holding a gun. In a chilling encounter, the armed woman demanded her to kneel on the ground before firing a shot into her leg and then vanishing into the surrounding woods. Wounded and fearing for her life, the victim waited until she believed her shooter was gone, then summoned the courage to return to her vehicle, where she called 911 on her cell phone. In response, law enforcement swiftly dispatched a helicopter to scour the park from above in their quest to apprehend the suspect, yet their efforts produced no immediate results. Now let's turn back the clock to 2012. In the heart of Omaha, Nebraska, just a short 10-minute drive from the tranquil Big Lake Park, a 35-year-old man by the name of Dave Krouper, fresh off his move to Omaha, where he had just landed a job managing an auto repair shop. Dave's personal life was at a crossroads as he was in the midst of a separation from his longtime girlfriend, Amy Flora, with whom he'd shared 2 children. It was Dave's first taste of living life independently in quite a while, and he had an itch for companionship. Dave was a fan of dating, a man who knew he didn't want to be alone, but it had been so long since he'd navigating the dating scene that he decided to dip his toes into the world of online dating. Back in 2012, online dating was still relatively new, and Dave thought, why not give it a shot? His inaugural experience in this digital realm led him to a woman named Shanna Elizabeth Goyler, or simply Liz, as she preferred to be called.
What? How do you get Shannon? What is it? What's her middle name?
Shanna Elizabeth Goyler.
Oh, so that's how she gets Liz from
Liz,
the middle name.
Yeah.
Okay.
As she preferred to be called that.
Yep.
Liz was a single mother with 2 kids around the same age as Dave's own children. She also happened to be the owner of Liz's Housekeeping. Beyond her practical skills, Liz was strikingly attractive, and Dave was immediately drawn to her, so they decided to meet up, opting for a cozy coffee shop date as their meeting spot.
Oh, so this is not, they've met online, have they?
Mm-hmm. On a dating app.
What dating app?
I don't know. He dabbled in a few. I don't know which particular one.
Okay.
Yeah. So their initial date went swimmingly. They hit it off, shared a lot of laughs, and Dave made sure to lay his cards on the table right from the get-go. He wasn't looking to rush into commitment. He simply wanted to enjoy a casual, carefree connection. But here's where things get a bit interesting.
Is that your way of saying he just wanted to...
Yes.
He wanted to get with her? He just wanted to...
He wasn't looking for, a relationship.
Oh, he just wanted to hit it?
He was just getting back into casual dating.
Oh, okay.
So Dave's no-commitment approach led him down the path of excitement and complexity. You see, it wasn't just Liz in the picture. There was also Mary and Kathy and Joey and Beth and Margaret and Sandra, each with their own unique connection to Dave.
Hold on a minute, I'm lost. Why is there so many girls?
Because he's playing the field.
Oh, he's okay. Yeah, he is.
Are you all right?
Yep. I'm just trying to figure out where all these names come from.
Okay, they're just all the girls he's dabbling in
at
the moment.
Yep.
So many of these relationships had a sexual component, painting a picture of Dave's rebound lifestyle. Mm-hmm. After being out of the dating game for so long, he seemed to date everyone in sight. The interesting twist, Dave was upfront with every single one of them about his aversion to commitment, and they were all on board with the casual nature of their connections. It was a chapter in Dave's life that would soon take a dramatic and unforeseeable turn. Now let's fast forward about 6 months after Dave had first crossed paths with Liz, the first girl.
Yep.
He was working at the car shop one day when in walked a young and attractive woman. For the first time since delving into online dating, Dave felt an undeniable, authentic connection. Her name was Cari Farver, a 37-year-old single mother to a 14-year-old boy, making her living as a computer programmer. Kerry hailed from a small town in Iowa where she had a close-knit circle of friends, with her mother being her closest confidant. As Dave tended to her Ford Explorer at the shop, there was an instant spark between them that neither of them could deny. Intrigued, Dave went home and found Kerry's profile on a dating site, taking the bold step of asking her out. Hardly bold if he had to go home and do it via his app and not just face-to-face.
Yeah.
Their first dinner date was a resounding success, and it seemed that they were both on the same page when it came to the nature of their promising romance. Kerry was also just looking for a casual romance, non-committal, so this was working out great for the both of them.
Mm-hmm.
Kerry went back to Dave's place that night, and the two of them enjoyed each other's company. As the evening drew to a close, Dave walked Kerry to the front door to bid her farewell. Just moments after she left, there came an unexpected knock at his door. Dave, somewhat taken aback, opened it to find Liz standing on his doorstep. This was the same Liz with whom he'd had initially embarked on a casual dating journey. She had come by to retrieve some belongings she had left at his apartment, and the timing couldn't have been more awkward. Liz and Kerry had an impromptu encounter in the hallway where they exchanged brief introductions.
Oh, okay. So it wasn't just after, like they'd cross paths.
Yeah, so as Carrie's said goodbye, shut the door, walking down the hallway, Liz is walking up the hallway, and 10 seconds later knocks on his door.
Uh-huh. Is it in an apartment? Is that why there's a hallway?
Yeah.
Okay.
Apartment building. Good?
Yeah, good. Yep. I caught up.
2 weeks later, Kerry found herself engrossed in a major project at her office, which just happened to be about 10 minutes away from Dave's apartment. Her home was a whole hour's drive from work, and seeing an opportunity to ease her commute, Dave, who had been getting along quite well with Kerry, despite their short time together, extended a friendly gesture. He offered her the use of his apartment while she wrapped up her project, and Kerry gladly accepted, taking the key.
Use of his apartment.
So he
in
just
other words,
basically
he's just like,
said,
you can live here while you're working at this
come
project.
stay with me for a couple of weeks while
okay.
you work on your project. Sorry, I'm not dumb enough for you. That's what he's saying.
What?
My words are too...
No, I'm just trying to put it straight.
He
Just wanted a little bit more for a week.
No, he was just trying to help her out.
Oh, yeah, help out.
He lives 10 minutes away from her work. She lives an hour. And it's just because this project is quite large over these 2 weeks.
Yep.
Fast forward to November 13th, 2012. It started off like any other workday for Dave. He got ready and left for the office around 6:30 in the morning, but not before sharing a parting kiss with Kerry. Later in the day, Dave receives a text message that would leave him stunned. It was from Kerry, and she said to Dave that she wanted to move in with him permanently. This was completely unexpected, especially since they'd previously agreed to keep things casual.
Yeah.
In fact, it was Kerry herself who insisted on the casual approach. Dave, caught off guard, responded explaining that he didn't really think it was a good idea. He pointed out that they really didn't know each other that well, and he wasn't quite ready for such a commitment. What came next was a flurry of messages from Kerry, laced with anger and profanity. She told Dave that she hated him, she didn't want to see him, and even claimed that she was dating someone else. It was a sudden and dramatic turn in their relationship that would set the stage for a series of perplexing events.
And is Kerry's the one that he actually met in person first?
Yeah.
Damn, he should have stayed away from her.
Dave was utterly baffled, and that's putting it mildly. Carrie's sudden shift in behaviour was like a whirlwind, and it made no sense. Just that very morning, everything seemed fine as he kissed her goodbye and headed off to work. Now, out of the blue, she was unleashing a torrent of anger and obscenities through text messages. It was disorientating, to say the least. As Dave returned home later that day, he was met with an unsettling sight. Carrie's belongings were gone, and there was no sign of her. Days passed in eerie silence until, out of nowhere, Kerry's messages started flooding Dave's phone once more. She unleashed an onslaught of anger, hurling insults and accusing him of ruining her life.
Whoa.
At this point, Dave's initial confusion had shifted into a sense of relief. He couldn't help but feel that he had dodged a bullet. What if he had grown closer to her only to discover this true side further down the road? It was a moment of gratitude that he had seemingly escaped a situation that was growing increasingly strange and unsettling.
And how long were they originally dating for?
2 weeks.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
She's hella crazy.
Yeah. So Kerry's life had been marked by struggles from a young age. Becoming a single mother at 22, her early relationship didn't work out, and she found herself raising her son alone. The weight of these challenges took a toll, leading to periods of sadness and depression. Eventually, she received a diagnosis of bipolar disorder, which added an extra layer of complexity to her life. It was a tough journey, but Kerry managed to secure a good job and things started to look up, and then she crossed paths with Dave. Kerry's... Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Dave wouldn't have known this at the time.
He didn't know this, yeah. Kerry's desire to spend more time with Dave, who lived closer to her workplace, led her to arrange for her high school-aged son to stay with her mother. On the same day of her emotional outburst with Dave, she also texted her mother mentioning her intention to take a job in Kansas. Her son, being supportive of his mother, shared this with his grandmother, suggesting that perhaps she did just decide to follow through with a job opportunity. Kerry's mother reached out to her asking for her to call, but she received no response. So basically, like, she's texted her mom and said, like, I'm not coming home, watch Max, which is the child.
Yeah.
I'm getting a job in Kansas.
Like, watch him indefinitely. He's yours now.
No, like, she's like, I'll come for Max when I'm set up and ready. Like, but it's still really random.
Yeah.
But, like, this is something that she'd talked previously about with Max. So he's kind of like, no, like, she's talked about this before. This isn't out of the blue.
Okay.
So, like, it's all good kind of thing.
Yeah.
Cari then informed her son via text that she would be back in a couple of days after attending her half-brother's wedding, and they would head to Kansas together. However, the wedding day passed and Kerry never showed up or made contact. Her son ended up staying with his grandmother, and the concerns for Kerry's well-being deepened. With Kerry missing, according to her family, her family decided to report her disappearance to the authorities. During the report, Kerry's mother mentioned her bipolar disorder diagnosis and the fact that Kerry had contemplated reducing her medication due to her improved quality of life. So basically, she's like, things are looking up. I don't think I need this anymore.
Oh.
The police, though sympathetic, informed her that the individuals with bipolar disorder who stop taking their medication can exhibit erratic behavior, including disappearing for a while. They emphasized that Kerry had been in contact with her family, staying in touch through text, making it challenging to categorize her as a fully missing person in their eyes. This complex situation left her family in a state of uncertainty, seeking answers about her whereabouts and well-being. The relentless stream of offensive text messages from Cari showed no signs of stopping for Dave. She used harsh language, hurling insults and displaying unwarranted jealousy. What added to the perplexity of this situation was Cari's fixation on Liz, a woman she had briefly crossed paths with in the hallway at Dave's apartment.
Yep.
The situation escalated on November 23rd, 2012, a mere 10 days after Dave last seen Kerry. On this day, Liz arrives home from work to discover her garage vandalized with the word whore from Dave spray painted on her walls.
How has Kerry found out where the hell Liz lives?
I don't know. That's, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's like why it's like crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Because she only met her in the hallway at one time. So, Liz arrives home. She sees like the words whore from Dave spray painted on her walls. Alarmed and deeply disturbed by this act of vandalism, Liz obviously calls the police and files a report.
Poor Dave's going to get stung for it.
During their investigation, they learn about the ongoing harassment campaign instigated by Cari, who had somehow obtained Liz's contact information through her brief interaction. Dave fully cooperates with the police, sharing the disturbing messages he had received from Cari and conveyed his concern over the escalating situation.
Is Dave kind of like freaking out at this stage? Well, not freaking out, but
not freaking out. He's just kind of like, he's kind of a chill dude. So he's just kind of like, this bitch is weird kind of thing. And like, it'll pass.
Yep.
Faced with this relentless harassment, the police advised Dave to consider changing his phone number as a potential solution to the ongoing turmoil. During this time, Kerry's mother also continues to receive text messages, some of which carry a tone of rudeness and suspicion. Simultaneously, Kerry keeps in touch with her son, outlining her intention to relocate to Kansas and reunite with him. Yet, as time marches on, a series of significant absences raises alarm bells. Kerry misses her brother's wedding, her own birthday, Thanksgiving, her son's birthday, and most notably, her father's funeral. With each passing day and these conspicuous conspicuous absences, a sense of foreboding deepens with Cari's family. They grow increasingly skeptical of the messages they receive, unable to reconcile them with Cari's usual demeanor.
Mm-hmm.
Dave finds himself trapped in a relentless nightmare, receiving an overwhelming deluge of over 60 text messages and more than 100 emails each day.
What, so she's texting and emailing?
Every day.
Man, emails. Wow.
Despite his desperate attempts to escape the harassment by
Can't just block that?
Well, he's changing his phone number repeatedly, but Kerry continues to track down his new number.
Hell no. No way. How's she getting it?
I don't know. He doesn't know. Nobody knows. It's insane. 60 messages a day. The disturbing content of Kerry's messages takes a deeply sinister turn when particularly venomous attacks targeting Liz. She hurls vile insults suggesting that Liz should take her own life and relentlessly demeaning her as a fat, ugly cow. Adding to the confusion, some of Kerry's emails are bizarrely addressed to Dave but contain derogatory remarks aimed at Liz, despite being intended for Dave's eyes only. The torment escalates further as Kerry's texts begin to provide eerie proof of stalking. She would text him saying things like, I can see what you're wearing, I can see you're sitting on your recliner watching a TV show, leaving Dave trapped in a nightmarish situation. In January, around 2 months into this ordeal, Dave arrives home one day to an astonishing sight. Kerry's car is parked in his apartment complex.
Oh, shit.
A mix of emotions washes over him as he thinks, oh my God, I've caught her, like she's here. He quickly takes a photo of the car and license plate and sends it to police, where they come and initiate a search of Kerry's vehicle at Dave's complex. She's not there.
Did he go into the room yet, or is she hiding in the room somewhere?
No, he didn't. He just snapped a photo, but she's nowhere around to be seen. Yeah. During the search, they discover a mint container with a single fingerprint, but it doesn't match Kerry's or anyone else's in the database. Meanwhile, on her Facebook profile, Kerry posts defiant messages asserting that she's not missing and stating her desire to stay away. She makes it clear that she's an adult capable of making her own choices, and she pleads with people to just stop reaching out to her, like leave her alone. She's fine.
I wonder where she's staying at this time. She's got some other boyfriend that she's found on the side. And she's just staying there and playing it cool with him.
You think?
I don't know. She's either sleeping in a car or she's found someone else, but like she's not in love with him as much as she's in love with Dave. She's just using him so she can get Dave back.
Yeah. Well, as the harassment from Kerry continues to intensify, Dave and Liz find themselves drawn together by their shared ordeal. The common experience of being targeted by Kerry brings them closer, eventually leading them to rekindle their romantic relationship.
Fuck, this is not good.
In a peculiar twist, they begin dating again, bonding over the bizarre and distressing situation that they find themselves in. They often find solace in each other's company when their phones simultaneously explode with messages from Kerry, creating an eerie and unsettling backdrop to their rekindled connection. In a chilling and deeply disturbing instance, Kerry sends Dave a picture that initially appears to be of a woman bound and confined in a trunk with a text saying, I have Liz in my trunk. You better call her right now and tell her she's ugly and that you don't like her or I'll kill her. Fearing the worst, Dave immediately calls Liz, his voice trembling with anxiety, and he asks, are you in Kerry's trunk? And she's like, no, it's not her at all. So she's doing like weird stuff.
Yeah.
9 long and unsettling months after Kerry was last seen, in August 2013, Dave receives a devastating call from Liz.
Wait. How long was this from the time when Cari said she had Liz in the trunk?
I don't know exactly when that, but it's been 9 months since Dave said goodbye to Kerry in the morning and left.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
So like everything's happening like quite quickly. It's only been 9 months.
But that's still a long time for harassment.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But I just want to know, like, since that last big event, like, how long has it been until now?
I don't know.
Because has there been a big pause for a while?
Well, he's still getting messages every day.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I don't know exactly when the trunk message was sent.
Yeah, okay.
Sorry.
Do you get what I'm trying to say though? Like, just say like full on for a month and then nothing, and then out of the blue, Kerry shows up again.
No, he consistently gets messages.
Okay,
they both do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
right.
like daily.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the trunk one was just an instance of a message that she sent is what I meant by that. So now we're in August. Dave receives a devastating call from Liz. Her world has been shattered as someone has deliberately set her house on fire. Thankfully, her children weren't home, but tragically, all of her beloved pets, her 2 dogs, a snake, and a cat, did not survive the fire.
Whoa.
Leaving behind a scene of profound loss and devastation. Investigators swiftly determined that the fire was a case of arson, and suspicion falls heavily upon Cari as the possible perpetrator. This horrifying incident marks a distressing and tragic turn in the ongoing saga surrounding Kerry's disappearance and the relentless torment that Dave and Liz have endured. 2 months later, Dave's auto shop becomes the target of vandalism. The words "Dave beats women" are spray painted along the side of the building and on nearby roads, making it a public spectacle for everyone to see.
And was he just a worker there? He didn't own it? He was just a worker?
Yeah, just a worker,
oh,
yeah.
Man.
This distressing act not only tarnishes Dave's reputation, but also fuels his fear for his safety. Feeling increasingly endangered and frustrated with the perceived lack of police intervention, Dave decides to take matters into his own hands and purchases a gun.
Mm-hmm.
Despite his relationship with Liz, Dave continues to actively seek out other women to date.
Oh, I see what's going on now.
However, almost every woman he contacts becomes a target for Kerry's harassment shortly after.
Hang on, sorry, what's he done?
He's still casually dating other women.
Hey, he's still casually dating after women, but didn't him and Liz decide to make it?
I think that he stopped kind of seeing her when he started seeing, after he started seeing Kerry.
Yeah, but
then they rekindled, to casually date again. But they're not in a relationship together.
Okay.
So, they're sleeping with each other, but he's still, kind of dating around.
All right, okay.
Yeah. But everyone he tries to see, 2 or 3 days later, they start getting harassed by Kerry.
Man, this whole thing's a mind.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
And then they're basically no thank you, and they back off.
Yeah.
So the terrifying intrusions into Dave's life persist.
Mm-hmm.
In January 2014, while Dave is at home with his high school friend Heather in his apartment, she notices his cell phone is bombarded with messages, and later they hear someone attempting to tamper with the front door handle. The unsettling night escalates when a brick is thrown through the window while they're in bed.
Whoa.
Yeah. Fast forward to 2015, 2 years after Cari was last seen, and the harassment has continued intermittently. 2 detectives decide to take a fresh look at Cari Farver's missing person case. They notice that Cari's texts are riddled with spelling errors, which is unlike her usual communication style. Additionally, all the money in her bank account remains untouched since her disappearance. This leads the detectives to a chilling conclusion that they suspect that Cari may actually be dead and someone is impersonating her. So detectives contact Dave and they ask him if they can arrange a meeting, during which they reveal their theory that they don't believe Cari was responsible for harassing him and Liz. Instead, they believe someone else has been impersonating her and she is either not alive or not acting of her own free will. Dave is left stunned and bewildered, struggling to comprehend why anyone would engage in such a disturbing charade. The police then deliver a shocking revelation. Their suspicions point towards Liz as the person impersonating Kerry. This revelation sends shockwaves through Dave, who finds it inconceivable.
The fuck?
He questions how Liz, who had lost her home and pets in a tragic fire and had been with him at times when they received texts from Kerry, could possibly be responsible for such a twisted impersonation and harassment campaign.
I want to know, how did they come to this?
Okay, well, the police admit their inability to explain why or how Liz was engaging in this behaviour. However, they do have a significant discovery to share.
Mm-hmm.
When Liz provided her phone as evidence during her harassment complaints against Kerry, the police retained her text message data for evidence. Upon revisiting this data 2 years later, a startling revelation emerges. A photograph of Kerry's car taken a full month before the police had located it at Dave's apartment complex. So in her phone, there's a photo of Kerry's car.
Yep.
But it's dated a month prior to Kerry's car showing up at Dave's complex, where police come and search it.
But why would she have the photo when it was Dave that turned up there and took the photo of the car? Why would...
Exactly. Why would she have a photo of Kerry's car a whole month
before
that happened?
Yep.
So this revelation raises questions about how Liz knew the car's location and why she took a photograph of it a month after Kerry's disappearance.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Right in the middle of her being missing and unseen by anyone.
Mm-hmm.
So she was missing at this point. Liz has seen the car, taken a photo of it, not told anyone.
All right.
You know, it's weird. Another revelation comes to light as investigators dive deeper into the case. Before Kerry's disappearance, Liz has dialed Kerry's home number approximately 10 times using *67 to conceal her identity, despite them having only met one time in a hallway. This inexplicable behavior raises further questions about Liz's involvement. Do you understand that?
Yep. Okay. I'm up to date. So, because when they first met,
yes,
it was Kerry leaving. It was Liz coming back.
Yeah.
And Liz rocked up out of the blue.
Yeah.
Liz could be the crazy one.
Maybe. Additionally, a photograph sent to Kerry's mother, supposedly from Kerry herself, adds another layer of intrigue. This photo features a check for furniture within Kerry's home, accompanied by a message asking her mum to let someone in to collect the furniture. Kerry's mother, understandably confused, questions why she is selling her furniture, to which then Kerry dismisses the inquiry, insisting on the transaction. So she's like, Mum, someone's going to pick up the furniture. Here's a photo of the check. Just let them in. It's fine. So the police collect this check, and guess whose signature is at the bottom as the buyer?
Liz.
The last piece of solid evidence that they had was the unknown fingerprint in Kerry's car. They retested and compared it, and it comes back as Liz's fingerprint.
Damn. And that's how Cari kept on getting Dave's number, because it was Liz. And they kept in contact.
Yes.
Oh,
so
shit.
at this point in time, the uncertainty surrounding Kerry's fate still lingers. The police aren't sure whether she's alive or not. While Liz's peculiar behavior raises suspicions, there remains no concrete evidence of her impersonating Kerry, despite her eccentric actions. So the stars are aligning. You can kind of make it out.
The stars are aligned, but also, okay, so Kerry had the, what's it called? What'd she have? The two personalities. What'd she have?
Oh, bipolar.
But she still sent the crazy text messages that day when Dave said, no, I don't think it's a good idea for you to move in.
Yeah, let's keep going.
Oh,
in December 2015, Liz engages in a conversation with the police, introducing a perplexing twist to the narrative. She suggests that perhaps Kerry wasn't responsible for the harassment all along, and instead Liz points the finger at Amy Flora, Dave's ex-girlfriend of 12 years and the mother of his children.
I was just thinking, where's the ex been this whole time?
That Amy might have harmed Kerry and taken on her identity to harass both Dave and Liz. This startling accusation raises further questions about the complex dynamics at play. Adding to the intrigue, Liz informs the detectives that Dave had purchased a gun, which has since gone missing. She speculates that Amy might have stolen it. Detectives, faking ignorance, request Liz's phone supposedly to access the harassment messages. However, they seize the opportunity to download every piece of data from her phone, including its history and pictures, in their ongoing quest for answers.
Amy's or Liz's? Liz's, okay, yep.
Just a couple of days later, Liz will make a 911 call from a walking trail in Big Park Lake, where she will tell them that she's been shot in the leg by a random woman who came up behind her. So she's rushed to the hospital, her wounds not fatal, and she claims it was Amy Flora who shot her. But it's quickly determined that it was not Amy, and it was Liz. Liz has shot herself in her own leg.
I knew it. She's crazy.
The analysts work diligently, racing against time to examine Liz's phone data, and their efforts eventually lead them to a startling revelation. They trace the messages from Cari right back to Liz herself, at her house, in her IP address, and her devices. So Liz has downloaded an app that deliberately delays messages, allowing her to send them while sitting next to Dave on the couch.
Of course.
With both of them receiving these messages at the same time from Kerry.
Anyone can do that.
Anyone can do that. The detectives maintain a facade of support for Liz, though. They are determined to build a solid case and uncover the truth about what happened to Kerry. So they suggest to Liz, Amy just shot you. Like, they're playing on her story.
Okay, yeah, but they know.
They know.
Oh, right.
They're like, Amy just shot you. Like, there's a high chance that she hurt Kerry as well. Like, could you just reach out to Amy and see if she'll confess to Kerry's murder? Like, she just shot you in the leg. Like, she should do that. And Liz is like, yeah, sure. So Liz goes off and then she returns to the police with a seemingly incriminating email from Amy. And in this email, Amy confesses to attacking Kerry, describing how she stabbed her 3 to 4 times in the chest and stomach, burned her body, placed it in a garbage can and dumped it in Big Park Lake.
Fuck.
The detective, still pretending to be on Liz's side, then asked her to obtain more information, such as the whereabouts of Kerry's body. Simultaneously, they approach Dave and inform him that they have been collaborating with Liz to uncover Kerry's location. They ask him to tell Liz he's moving back in with Amy because they think that this will push her over the edge and it'll just make her like confess almost. Like they're like trying to egg Liz on, but in a bad way. So they're like, hey Dave, just tell Liz that you're going to move in with Amy. And like we're trying to like wind her up. So Dave complies with their request and he informs Liz, hey Liz, I'm moving back in with Amy. Like I'm worried that Kerry might hurt her, so I'm going to go back and live with her. And this news sends Liz into a frenzy.
Because is Liz still in the hospital at this time?
No, her wounds were fine. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
So Liz, caught in the detective's web of deception, reluctantly agrees to help them further. She promises to have Amy provide details of what transpired. Liz then provides another email allegedly from Amy in which Amy admits that the stabbing occurred inside Carrie's car.
Mm-hmm.
Based on this crucial information, the police intensify their investigation. They meticulously examine Carrie's car, tearing it apart to search for evidence. During their search, they discover blood on the car seat, particularly underneath it, and the blood is a match to Carrie's DNA.
Yep.
This discovery solidifies the car as a crime scene where the stabbing took place. The police finally confront Liz about her involvement in creating the emails, but she denies any wrongdoing, refusing to accept the accusations. They present the evidence they've gathered, including the app used to send the emails, but Liz continues to deny her involvement, expressing disbelief that she's being accused. Like, she's like, I can't believe you're saying this about me. Like, it wasn't me. The investigation continues and the detectives turn to Dave, seeking any additional information that could help them build a stronger case. Dave suggests searching a storage unit and their efforts pay off. Inside an old iPad that they found in the storage unit, they discover an SD card. To their astonishment, this SD card was originally from Liz's phone.
Okay, yep.
Upon examining the SD card, they come across a disturbing photograph, a decomposing foot, unmistakably belonging to a woman. What's more chilling is that the foot bears a tattoo with a symbol, matching the one on Carrie's own body. Oh. This grim discovery provides irrefutable proof that Carrie had met a tragic end. The decomposing foot, along with other evidence, seals the case against Liz. Additionally, they find a camcorder at Liz's house, which turns out to be the same camcorder that had been stolen from Kerry shortly after her first date with Dave. On it, they find a video where Kerry is documenting the vandalism on her Ford Explorer, which occurred just days after her encounter with Liz in the apartment hallway. With this substantial evidence in hand, the case goes to trial, and Liz is ultimately sentenced to life in prison. It's a chilling end to a 3-year-long investigation. In the end, the resolution of Cari Farver's mysterious disappearance was made possible through the relentless dedication of 3 tenacious investigators: Detective Ryan Avis, Investigator Jim Doty, and Special Deputy Anthony Carver. Their unwavering commitment to uncovering the truth was the driving force behind this intricate year-long case. Dave Krouper, who had been at the center of the chaos, expressed his deep appreciation for all the investigators, saying, Doty, Avis, Carver, they're all heroes. Their relentless pursuit of justice brought clarity to a perplexing situation. Nancy, Kerry's mother, echoed this sentiment, emphasizing that the profound impact the investigators had on her life. She fondly referred to them as my boys and expressed her heartfelt gratitude, saying, "Those guys, they mean the world to me. I can't thank them enough." In memory of Cari, the 3 investigators established a scholarship fund in her name at the local community college she had once attended. This initiative aimed to associate something positive with her memory, demonstrating their commitment to ensuring that Cari's legacy would include a positive impact on others. When asked how she wished her daughter to be remembered, Cari's mother emphasized the vibrant, multifaceted person that Cari was. A fun, loving, talented, and intelligent woman. Cari's life was cut short at the age of 37, but her memory lives on in the hearts of those who loved her. Her mother expressed her sentiment, saying, "Cari was only 37 when she died, and if I could talk to Cari right now, I'd say I love you. I'm so glad that you're in my life. You're a beautiful woman who has a beautiful son, who has a wonderful life coming, and I miss you terribly." Cari Farver's memory endures a testament to the enduring power of love and the determination of those who sought justice on her behalf. And that is the story of Cari Farver.
Fuck. Well, everyone mind-blowing.
Very
That's
mind-blowing.
Okay, so this whole time, Liz was the crazy one.
Yeah, so...
And she just played everyone. I can't believe she was messaging Kerry's son as well.
Isn't that disgusting? Being like, "I'll be home soon, I'll come and get you."
Man.
And I just like...
So how long, do we know how long after they met in the hallway she found her and killed her?
2 weeks.
After they met in the hallway?
Because Kerry had only been dating Dave for 2 weeks. Like, that was their first date.
Oh, when they crossed paths in the hallway?
Yes, that was their first date.
If only she'd left... Like
no,
that little...
I see. The way that I interpret that is that Liz was outside stalking.
No,
she knew.
Yeah, she would have knew. And just unfortunately happened to be her.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
Man,
but
that's
like, oh my God, imagine being murdered over a guy that you'd been dating for 2 weeks. Like, she would barely like know this man, and she's lost her life because of it.
Yeah, that's
But like, how insane do you have to be to
Has
burn
Liz-
your house down with all your pets?
So that actually did happen. That wasn't made up?
She did it.
Yeah, I know, but so it did happen. It wasn't just
Nope.
saying.
She did it.
Oh, that's right, because she tried to say it was Cari.
She vandalized her own house, called herself a whore. She vandalized Dave's workplace, Kerry's car, and burnt her house down. And shot herself in the leg.
But yeah,
let's not forget that.
Man, that just sucks. That's crazy. It's just crazy. She's crazy. I feel for Dave. Obviously, I feel for Cari. That's so sad, and that's just. But man, what that poor guy went through.
Yeah.
Like that's.
But like even
just
her family,
everyone involved.
like,
Yeah, everyone.
Her family, like Kerry was painted out to be this crazy woman who was like harassing everyone, and she was just on like a bipolar trip or whatever. And she wasn't. She was dead this whole time, and her family knew. Her mother knew. She's like, "This isn't my daughter."
I remember that. Yeah.
You know, like they were best friends, and now she couldn't even call her on the phone.
Did they through their investigation, did they find that Liz was crazy before this?
She'd never done anything like this before. Like, nothing came up. So I don't...
So maybe, she's done it. And then she just thought, shit, how am I I'm just going to have to try and blame it on someone else till it passes.
I feel like I just don't have words. I don't know what goes through your mind.
She's in jail for life.
She is in jail, yes. So, which is sad with so many people, like, their lives are ruined because of this. Like, Kerry's son doesn't have a mother, and now Liz's children don't have a mother because she's in jail. Like... What are you doing? What are you doing? Well, but anyway, I hope that was a mind fuck.
That was. Yeah. So, moral of the story is do not online date.
Yeah, I guess.
Kind of, no.
Well, just don't be crazy. I don't know.
Yeah, don't be crazy because you'll meet someone in the bar and they could be just as crazy.
That is exactly true.
Wow. Well, yeah, that was hectic, babe.
It was a bit hectic.
How the hell do you find these?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway. We'll catch you guys next week. That was the end of this week's episode. Let me know what you think. 5-star review. If you've seen it coming, I want to know what you thought. Head to our Instagram page and comment on the episode from pictures. Oh my God, I've lost my words.
Yeah.
You know what I mean. Tell me what you think. And we will catch you guys next week for another episode. Let's go, Phil.
Tell me next week.
Bye, darlings.
Did I get it right?
Yes.